Alright, I'm going to do a pretty odd video now. Everything's about to go dark, by the way. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video about, weirdly enough, my exes. I'm going to walk and talk as I go. This is probably quite weird, it's dark as fuck, eh? Wait, I'll put a light on somewhere. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so I've been wanting to do a video about essentially my exes and how I miss them, because I'm an obsessed man and I've got nothing going for me in life. Well, that was scary. Not the actual truth, but you know, take it as you want. Maybe that's my subconscious coming out. Nah, yeah, I was gonna do a video about them, specifically two of them. So I've probably had about 3 serious relationships in my life, and like maybe 4 or 5 like semi-relationships that have been like a few week fling, a couple of weeks fling, or a month at a time, and then just like, I don't even know how many one night stands with both men and women and all this and shit. But anyway, yeah. So I've had 3 serious relationships, sorry. But 2 of them that I actually really cared about. First one was an evil woman who, well, not really even, she's just horrible bitch. I was about 18, she was about 20 something. She essentially forced me to propose to her. So I don't really miss her. She was pretty nasty. But yeah, so the first relationship, I think I was 20 years old or 21 years old and she was 16, which is illegal in a lot of the world, I think, but it's not legal in England. I would not date someone at that age now. I probably wouldn't date someone who's 18 now, to be fair. I'm 23, so yeah, I probably wouldn't date someone at that age now. I mean, they were too young. We were too young. I was probably about 13 in my head as well, to be fair. But anyways, I got with her, used to roam around with her and another friend of mine, Carotany. She knows who she is. In my car, used to do a lot of drugs with Carotany. Used to snort cocaine with Carotany. I think this ex that I'm talking about snorted cocaine with me once. She also tripped her tits off on magic mushrooms, right? Well, magic mushroom truffles. And I remember very distinctly, we had a lot of them. We had about 25, 30 grams each. And she started tripping fairly hard for about a minute. And she just fell asleep. Never really seen people do that when they're tripping that hard. But yeah, she just fucking fell asleep. But yeah, I met her through that. Went on a little date on the beach. Used to kiss and hold hands. I was her first everything, apparently. That's definitely true. I was her first everything. And you know, I think I treated her nicely. She may disagree, which is fair. That's up to her. She's got her own opinions. I think she'd say overall the relationship was good. But yeah, I miss her basically because I don't know, that relationship with her was quite good. Like the one before that, I was pretty much forced to do whatever. In this one, I actually felt like I wanted to help her out, like, and I felt like I cared. I did actually love her quite a lot, come to think of it. And I saw her recently and talked to her recently, and you know, I still love her. Like, I wouldn't get back with her tomorrow. I wouldn't get back with her. Maybe I won't say never get back with her, but I wouldn't really get back with her tomorrow because you know, at the end of the day, we'd left the relationship for, you know, reasons. Starting it again just wouldn't work out. It's nice to reminisce, but actually going back to it is a step backwards for both of us. But yeah, I just miss the comfort with her. I miss having a person who was a friend that was sort of that close. Like, I knew she had my back. Like, she was a pretty nervy and anxious lady, and she still is. But I knew that when it came to things that mattered, she had my back, and I knew she loved me. Like, when I used to kiss her and when we used to argue and she'd just say shut up and kiss me, I knew she loved me and I knew I loved her. There was no doubt behind it. Her mother was a crazy ex-heroin addict. She kept breaking into the house. Broke in one time when we were both completely naked in bed with like a whole entourage of her other family. The rest of the family said they were gonna cabbage me and kill me and shit and wreck my room up. And to be honest, this thing happened a bit. It was upsetting, but I loved her enough to deal with it. I moved to another country away because I just wasn't living a very good life where I'm living now. But yeah, regardless of her family, the fact that sometimes she was quite insecure in the relationship, you know, those were the only things, really. I mean, we used to argue about minor shit, but honestly, the relationship went pretty well. We were pretty happy together. You know, I had her back, she had my back, and quite honestly, if ever I got a lot of money and she got a lot of money and we'd done another 5 to 10 years and decided that other people other than each other weren't for us, I'd probably tell her, you know, I still love you, I'll give it a go. And at the time, and still now, well, not so much now, but at the time, I felt like if I saw her with my children, I wouldn't feel weird about it, I wouldn't feel bad about it. I would look at my children and look at her and be like, I'm glad that my children are, you know, part of my children are part of her kind of thing. And I'd look at her kissing my children and walking around with my children and think, well, this woman's beautiful and this child of ours is beautiful, you know? So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot there. I would still now, if I discover we have children, which we don't, or if I hooked up with her tomorrow and she got pregnant, I'd say, well, look, I love you and I'm going to love your children. And, you know, if she has children now that aren't mine, I'll probably still love them and be nice to them, be involved in their life whenever I could be and just be nice to them. So, yeah, I miss that ex for a variety of different reasons. Mainly just the fact that I loved her and she loved me back and, you know, it was just right. It was just right. But the reality is that won't work again. So we don't do that now. And to be honest, I don't think she'd be interested. And as much as I feel like I am, it's not a smart thing to do. I'm not interested really. You know, we get back into old things. So yeah, that was like my second serious relationship, but my first time really being in love. And then I left her to go to Australia, to get out of England, to make a better life, essentially for both of us, not just for me. I mean, it was more selfish reasons, I'm not going to lie, like my dad lives over there and I wanted to sort my life out. But I did have her in my mind. Now, things got difficult out there, I got pretty upset over a few things. I felt like, you know, because I'd invited her over there, she could have got a flight over there with me, with the money my family had, but she wouldn't, and I kind of begrudged her for that. And I got a bit scared, it was getting intense, and also, yeah, the stuff with her family just got to me here, and I didn't want that anymore. I started hanging out with other people, I found another woman, I didn't cheat on her with this woman, just to get things clear. Yeah, and essentially, broke up with her because of this new woman who became the next serious relationship. And, yeah, it's a sad story, but, you know, such is life. But yeah, then the next one, I felt immediate love for when I met her. But I tried to keep holding back because, you know, I did legitimately have a girlfriend. And it wasn't like, unfortunately, she wasn't just someone I was having sex with or someone I wanted to have sex with. You know, if that was what it was, I'd have told my girlfriend I just wanted to get laid. She'd have probably been upset. She might have got over it, might not. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't anything serious, I wouldn't have pursued it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I pursued her. We became friends through an anarchist club. We did a lot of anarchy-related stuff back in the days when I was an anarchist. I'd say I'm just a fucking person now. I remember we used to spray paint together. Now, I'm not much of a spray painter. There's a video called A Little Bit of Spray that I've done, and I'm not much of a spray painter. You'll see if you look at that video. Although, I'm better than I was then, but yeah. But yeah, we used to spray paint together. I used to go to a family home, and it was nice because I loved her, and we also had the family thing together. But I think what topped it off there is she was just too much for me. She was just too much hard work, to be honest. I mean, I wanted to do a lot of stuff in life. I wanted to do a lot of things, and I couldn't do them with her. I felt like she was holding me back, is the reason that I split with her, I think. And also, I think I was holding her back. I think I split because it was better for both of us, basically. It probably upset her a lot and upset me a lot, but it had to be done, essentially. But yeah, I just miss her because I remember very vividly when we used to be in her room cuddling, or like we'd just have sex fucking 8 hours a day. It wasn't like if I had a stranger around and I just fucked them for a one night stand. It was like amazing for both of us. And it was loving as well. Like, it's not, we do the horrible, crazy BDSM shit and then be in love together as well. I miss her because she was very adventurous. Probably the most adventurous person I've dated so far. Probably will upset other people who are watching this if they're my exes. That's scary. But yeah, I remember running around with her and just a lot of crazy stuff. I explored a lot more of the hardcore BDSM stuff that I did. I mean, I've done harder stuff than I did with her, but I've never had one person I could do it with so frequently. So that was nice because we were compatible in bed. We're compatible emotionally because we loved each other. We were compatible ideologically. I liked chemistry and doing all kinds of different studies, and she was studying environmental sciences. I studied chemistry with her for a few hours, so everything was lined up. But I just felt like over in Australia, it wouldn't work well for me. My visa was, covered only certain things. I'm not a skilled worker, so I couldn't stay with her. She was holding me back, I was holding her back. But yeah, I do miss her. I miss her smell. I miss her size. She was a big lady. I miss a lot of things about her, really. I even miss like the bad times when I used to be upset and angry at her and she was upset and angry at me and we'd shout. Because, same with my the other ex that I miss. Those emotions I don't get for not just normal people. Like, I don't have the emotional capacity to get properly angry with people out on the street. Like, don't get me wrong, if someone outside starts shit with me, I'll crack on with them. I don't give a fuck if they kill me or not, but they're not going to make me feel really hardcore emotions. I'm just going to be a bit pissed off and defend myself. I'm just prepared to defend myself quite extremely, that's all. Whereas with these two, I'd be so pissed off that it'd hurt because I love them so much. And that's a nice feeling, as bad as it sounds. So yeah, I miss them both. It's a horrible feeling. Again, both of them I'd have kids with, like, fuck, it's hard to think about. But I'm moving on. I have moved on because whilst I do miss them and sometimes wonder I wonder what it'd be like, and should I talk to them again and should I see them again? In the end, I think I made the right decision, and in the end, I've got more to do in life than have a committed relationship. In fact, I've got more to do in life than actually even get laid. I mean, since all my experience of messing around with people and having these serious relationships, I'm pretty much done with it. Like, I'm into sort of exercising and living my life. I feel like other people in relationships hold me back. And, I've thought to myself, maybe it's just the people. People have said to me, oh, why don't you get with a man? It won't be as much fuss. And I'm like, I don't think it's anything to do with the other person in the relationship being female. I think it's to do with you're committing your entire life with another person. You've got to compromise for them. I don't think it makes a difference if I date a guy or not. So, yeah, I just wanted to admit that I miss my exes, because it's something I want to get off my chest. I don't want to be bitter to them. I've said bad things about them and been bitter about them when in reality I just miss them and I love the memories I have. Okay, I think that's about it. Otherwise I'll waffle on forever. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you miss your exes also.